Hey there, Amy Wood here. Today we're talking vendor risk because your vendors can either be your best allies or your biggest migraines, depending on who they are and what they do.
Hey y'all, and I'm Deanna Otts-Whitfield, breaking down OSHA's hazard communication standards because chemicals in the dental offices can really bite back if you're not careful.
First, vendor risk. There's two parts to this. First is the business associate agreement, and the second is vendor due diligence. So, that first part, that business associate agreement or BAA, it's not just about signing it, it's about looking at what's in it. And I know it's legal jargon, but look at what's in it. Make sure that they're not assigning risk to you and that they're not making you responsible for their faults. Second part of that is vetting your vendors. And if you don't want to do that, let me know. It's my absolute favorite thing in the world to do, especially when they spell HIPAA wrong.
You know what? If your chemicals and containers don't have proper labels or they don't have an associated up-to-date safety data sheet, OSHA will really have a field day with you, and they're very serious about that. And I'm talking about anything that's taken out of their original container, put into a spray bottle, a monojet syringe, an endo syringe, a glass container with soaked alcohol gauze. Everything has got to be properly labeled. And even though that Cavicide bottle is full of Cavicide and it still looks pink around that label, but it's defaced, it needs to be replaced. Double check those safety data sheets. They're really easy to find. And you know what? If you need a little help and you can't find something, hit me up. I got you.
Now, I worked with a practice once where the vendor made a copy of the entire patient database and sent it out to all of their dental offices that they worked with in order to do CDT code updates. This was before all the vendors got their act together and did that automatically. And it was a giant mess because one of those backups ended up in the hands of someone that it shouldn't have, and it became a giant mess. So it that's not what we want to be doing. We want to be able to trust our vendors to do the right thing. But in the world of HIPAA, it's zero trust. We trust but verify.
Mm, mm, mm. You know what? I saw a practice a few years ago. Uh, Pour some tartar and stain remover into a water bottle that was being used with their ultrasonic scaler, which was used on a patient, and that patient received a lot of burns in their mouth. So I guess what had happened was the original container from the tartar and stain remover had been punctured. And so they poured it into a water jug. When the provider went to go get the water jug to fill up that water bottle for the ultrasonic scaler, it didn't have a label on it. They didn't know that it was filled with tartar and stain remover. Hence, that patient received some chemical burns in their mouth. This is the importance of labeling everything in your office because we don't know who is moving what around in the office and what's in all those containers.
Jeez, accidents can happen so quickly, can't they?
Absolutely.
Well, my tip today is to vet your vendors carefully and ask all the hard questions. And if you aren't willing or able to do that, let me know. It's literally my favorite thing in the world to do.
I'm really big on training. My tip is to train your staff to read those labels. Train your staff to make sure that they're labeling things when they're removing them from those original containers or if they need to replace labels. Also, using the proper PPE when handling these chemicals. This is stuff that we see every single day and that we're handling every day, and something may not have ever happened before, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to cause harm when it does eventually happen. Amy, you got a joke?
I got a joke. I got all the cheesy jokes.
Oh,
So mine today is, why did the vendor get kicked out of the party?
hmm.
Because they couldn't keep their data to themselves.
Everyone keep your data to yourselves. Okay. Why don't chemical spills make good parties? Because they're always a mess.
All these are horrible dad jokes, but I love them so much.
Oh gosh.
Well, thanks for joining us on Safety Compliance Chats. If you learned something or cracked a smile at our weird jokes, please share and review. Compliance doesn't have to be painful, and we'll make sure of it. So, catch you on the next episode.
Miles.
Thank you for joining us. For more information, please go to www.copperpennyconsulting.com. Bye.